How's it going, everybody? My name is Nick Novak. Welcome to the Hidden Spring Ranch. It's day 48 of 50. If you're new, welcome. We're doing 50-day challenge. 50 videos in 50 days. Today, cool video. I do know we went and checked calves this morning, and there's 2 calves, which at the end of this video, we'll go out and tag them. But I wanted to give you guys a breakdown of the yearlings we ran this year. Everyone's been kind of asking how you do it and the custom grazing and how that works. And I thought I'd go into a little bit more detail. So, let's get started. So, 2024 yearlings, we ended up getting some spayed heifers. A spayed heifer is you take out the ovaries out of them. It's supposed to help with the feed efficiency. It also helps that they don't ovulate. So kind of hormonal stuff going on kind of stops that. And we actually did see a pretty big increase on our daily gains per day and stuff like that, which we'll get into. So we were really happy with it. Cost a little bit more to get them, but you also don't have to worry about a neighbor's bull jumping the fence to get into them because he can't smell them. And so it just worked out really good for us. So we'll start here. We had 80 head. We turned them out on May 2nd. All 80 head, turned them out May 2nd. Coming in on the ranch, they weighed 677 pounds. We ended up buying 20 of those from the feed yard, and we ended up custom grazing 60 of them for the feed yard. So kind of how the custom grazing thing works, we get a contract made. The feed yard says, okay, we'll pay you $1 a day for every single day each cow is out on pasture. We got into kind of a drought in the middle of summer, which I was hoping to keep them out for about 120 days. So we ended up sending those 60 back for 88 days at $1 a day. They came off weighing 858 pounds, which was 2.06 pounds a day on nice, great green grass, which we were super happy with. I think that spayed heifer, just spaying her helps them gain a little bit better. You know, you'd see a stalker steer probably gaining that at 2.06 pounds a day. And we probably could have kept them a little longer, but we were just running short on grass, and we said, well, since we bought 20, let's just leave the 20 we bought on the ranch and send those other ones back, because the way the feed yard had it, they were still going to be able to make a little bit of money, you know, if everything goes smoothly at that 88 days. So they took them back. Like I said, 858 pounds is what they weighed after their shrink getting back to the feed yard. The 20 we bought from the feed yard, we ended up spending $847 a head on them, and I was a little nervous because that was a little bit more than what I wanted to spend on them, but I know the market's really good right now. I know we could get some good gain on these cattle. And so, basically, I want to go into our expenses now. So, going into our expenses, the 60 head that we ran for 88 days, in our contract we had, the feed yard would supply the mineral for them. So, this $300 in mineral was just for my 20 head that I had. And I bought 4 bags of cake to gather them the first time, basically a bag to get them trained to it, half of a bag in the morning, half a bag at night, and the next bag was half a bag in the morning, and then the next bag, the other half of that bag was to catch them, did that twice. So I spent 40 bucks on cake there, and like I said, the mineral for $300 was just for my 20 head. The feed yard covered the mineral for the 60 head, so that was included with that price per head per day, which was really nice. We didn't end up losing any of our yearlings. Everybody was alive when we got them sent back to the feed yard, so we were happy with that. So let's kind of go into the custom yearlings first on what we made on them and whatnot. So if you guys can see, we had 60 head. We kept them out for 88 days. The feed yard wrote me a check. And let me say this real quick too. They supply the fuel to get the yearlings here, and they also bring a truck to get them off grass. So I had no trucking expenses in that. So they wrote me a check for $5,280, which we were happy with, especially for only being able to run them for 88 days. If we were to buy all of them, I would have lost money because I couldn't have kept them out as long as we did. So $5,280 off 60 head for 88 days. We ran them on 1.75 acres a head per day. So they were on about 140 acres. We stocked them a little heavier than what we wanted, but we had some extra grass from last year, and we were getting really good rain at the beginning of May and June and towards the middle of July, and then it kind of shut off, everything browned up. So that kind of tells you the custom yearlings. We made $1 a head a day for 88 days, 60 head. I was pleased with that number. You can't make a land payment, you know, with just that number, but you have to kind of be able to well round yourself to where, yes, we only ran 60 on that grass, but we also bought 20. We made a little bit more money on them, which brings me into them. So basically what we did, about 20 head for $1,847. After we had them out on grass for 153 days. We got to let them go out a lot more, and we let them kind of having to work for it for about 3 weeks until we started getting rain again. They ended up gaining 1.76 pounds a head per day for 153 days. We were super happy about that. That's a number a stalker steer is going to gain. That right there is a really good gain for some heifers. I watch a couple guys on YouTube, and their grass is a little bit different than out here, but their grass is a lot more lush and green than this grass we have here out in northwest Kansas. And some of those were only gaining 1.2, 1.3, maybe even less than 1 pound a day for the heifers. And so that just kind of shows you that a spayed heifer, it works. So we ended up selling them back to the feed yard. In this price, we figured out the trucking to come get them. We sold them for $2,000 and $2,049. Okay, so we bought these for $1,847 a head. We sold them for $2,049, which puts our total at $202 a head. We were pleased with that. Through the FSA, our interest on them, we took out a loan through them, was $1,200. And so our total money we made after we take into our mineral and cake was $142 a head, which is about $2,800. So on that I can't remember what I said before. I think it was like 128 acres total. We're making about $8,000, which out here, grass isn't worth $3,000 an acre. It's worth about $1,200 to $1,400 an acre. And so, yes, it doesn't make my land payment, but I also do a lot of other things, and this is a great number. For example, with the drought, if I had a cow-calf pair, I would have had to start feeding hay, and that's expensive. I would have made no money. With yearlings, if you do it the custom way, yes, you might take a little bit of a pay cut, but if there's a drought, send them away. You're not out nothing. And so that's what's really nice. Let's see, I was going to talk about something else. Okay, so these 20 head that I bought, when I got to the feed yard, they weighed 946 pounds, which, geez, that's a big yearling coming off grass. Really big. Those 60 head, they weighed 858 coming off grass. And like I said, they came on weighing 677, so they put some pounds on. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to add up the number of the $142 a head, which is about $2,900 actually. I just figured it up, and the $5,280, and then you just divide that by the 128 acres we ran them on. It's about $64 an acre, which I'm pleased with that. For my operation, what I do, and kind of the other things we have going on, it makes sense to do that. Especially as a beginning rancher, it's really, really hard to be able to come up with all this money to buy cow-calf pairs or to buy this or that. So this custom grazing is really nice because let's just say 5 of those custom heifers died. I'm out nothing. I'm not down. If I would have bought them for $1,800, I'm not down $7,000, $8,000 if they die. The feed yard is, and they're still going to pay me $1 a day for everything that's alive. And so it's one of those things where it's really nice to have that security when you're younger to do that. And like I said, this works for us. I hope you guys can see this. I try to get the camera as close as possible. If not, I'll do a little close-up here at the end. But to wrap things up, we're going to continue doing yearlings. They work really good for us. And you can see, we made some money. A lot of guys that are doing this didn't make any money because they bought everything. I know I watched a guy on YouTube. He lost, I think, $3 a head a day. $3 total over the whole 100 and probably 60 days he had them out. And so, and this isn't taking into account fuel and my time, but when you work on the ranch, you don't really factor that in. That is my profit that I get. So, it might change a little bit if I was to factor all that in. But at the end of the day, we made about $8,200 total. And so the custom grazing works, but I always want to have a little bit of ownership just to, you know, be able to make a little bit more money if I can. Well, we're just pulling it here to the fall pasture. And actually early this morning, my two daughters and I came out here and looked after we went to the store. Willa got a donut this morning. But anyways, my wife has a wedding in Hayes today. She's actually in the wedding. It's a Friday, so kind of a different day. So I had to take off of work in the morning and watch the girls till my mom got here to watch them. But before that, we went this morning to look at the cows, and there's actually 2 new calves for sure that we saw. So let's go get them tagged and see if they're bulls or heifers. Fingers crossed for bulls. Little heifer. Good looking little calf. Little brownie. Good mama. Good mamas. It is so crazy how a full-blooded Charolais bull bred to a full-blooded Black Angus cow can have that color calf. I didn't know. We have 2 calves like that now. And who knows, maybe one of those Charolais bulls that we have wasn't 100% Charolais. Maybe they're Little Red Angus or something. I have no idea. But anyways, I think I see this other calf in this tall grass by its mama. I think it's number 52. So we'll see if we can't get her tagged as well, and then see if we can't get a head count on all the other calves. Little bull calf. Nice sized little bull calf. Really nice. All right, guys, so here's a list of our calves so far. We have 2, 3, 4 bulls and 2, 4, 8 calves total. 4 bulls, 4 heifers. Isn't it crazy how it's almost always 50-50? I don't think I've ever seen someone have like 70-30. It's kind of the way nature is, man. Always equal. 2 genders, 2 genders. There's 1 calf. Let's see here. There's 3 little calves. There's another, that brown one right in the middle. They all look good. And there's also 2 big ones over there. So that puts us at 6. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the one we just tagged is 7 over there. I don't know where the 8th one's at, but it's somewhere, surely. There they are. Good little pair right there. It's so crazy. I'm gonna rant for a little bit. It's so crazy how cows are. I mean, cows have got to be some of the dumbest animals, to be honest with you, but at the same time, the smartest. And when I say that, this is kind of what I mean, is when a human has a kid and has kids, you tend to kind of lean towards other parents who have kids because you can relate to them, You kind of hang out with them. Not saying that you don't, but like these cows, for example, there's 8 cows on one half of the pasture that all have calves, and the other like 24 cows are all on the other side hanging out. So it's like all the parents are hanging out together, and then all the singles are hanging out together. It's so funny how that works. Not to mention, cows babysit each other's calves. It's so weird. And let me explain that. So, like for example, if say there's 8 calves over here and some of the cows want to go to water, 1 or 2 cows is going to sit by all 8 calves while the other cows go and get water, basically just protecting them, but babysitting. It's so weird how it works, but at the same time, it's like, it's very animalistic thing to do, is like protect your young and protect other people's babies. Like, I don't want other people's babies getting hurt by a predator, and so why would cows want grasshoppers, dude? Grasshoppers are terrible this year. I'm gonna rant on that. I hate grasshoppers, and they are so bad this year, so bad. Anyways, let's go check these cows and see if there's any new calves on this side, but I doubt it. Look at the bag on this cow. How she has not calved yet blows my mind. And she is so loose on the rear end. I thought for sure she would have calved by now. She's gonna have plenty of milk, I'll tell you that. And this will be her first calf. That's the cow last year that miscarried her calf sometime along the way. So kind of sad, but hopefully she's bred back. This will be her first calf. You know, last year she was a bred heifer, and so fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly. There ain't much going on here. Easy, girls. Like 62, she'll have a calf soon. Surely. She is getting thick. Big old bag on her. '87, this cow right here didn't have a calf last year, so fingers crossed she has a calf, and if not, she's going to town, because she cost us a lot of money the last 2 years if she doesn't have a calf. Anyways, guys, I'm probably going to end the video here. I hope you guys liked the price breakdowns for my yearlings and how much we made on them. I was happy with it. If you guys want another video kind of explaining how the whole yearling process works, and maybe how to find a local feed yard or ranch that maybe does the same thing that I did with the feed yard that I use, let me know. I'd be happy to kind of help you out in that aspect. You know, I think a part of our industry that lacks is, yes, people help each other out, but people don't like helping the newer ranchers, and I don't like that, you know, kind of the older farmers and stuff. And I'm not dogging on nobody. It's just kind of a known fact that the majority, I'm not saying all, but the majority are kind of stuck in their old ways, and they don't want to see young guys coming in, working sometimes smarter and not harder. And it's just one of those things where, you know, we could help you guys out in certain aspects, and then there's a lot of aspects that you could help us out. And so I think we all need to work together and kind of unite as one to where we can all be successful. And, you know, everyone's gonna have their differences, which is fine. But it's one of those things where I'll help you out, you help me out, and let's try to both make money doing what we're doing. But anyways, that was a rant. I don't know why I brought that up, but thanks for watching. We'll catch you next one. Peace.